What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Couch Coaches Podcast. We got a good one for you guys today, so make sure you sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. Shane, we're going to get right into it, brother. We're going to answer the question today and just break it down of these teams that are so-called like eliminated from playoff contention. You know, the 1-8, 2-8 teams right now. We're about halfway through the season.
Yeah.
What should their fans be wanting, right? Because obviously you want to win football games. That's always the goal.
Yeah.
But with football, it's the easiest thing because in the NBA, you have a lottery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, MLB, you have a lottery. So even losing games, you still might not win the lottery.
Yeah.
In the NFL, if you were the worst team, you get the first pick. So there's a benefit to losing games,
100%.
right? What is your opinion on teams like the Dolphins, right? Teams like the Jets who were in line for a top 5 pick, and now they're winning games against opponents that it's just like their fans are getting excited for wins, but now they're going to get a higher draft pick that's not, 1, 2, 3 overall.
Yeah, no, I think it's a huge, huge problem. And honestly, from being Giants fans ourselves, we understand how big the draft is. Like a couple of years ago, we won. It was when Tommy DeVito decided to show up and win ball games for us, and it was great in the moment, right? Like we were like, oh, there's so much energy, there's such a buzz, but we were playing for absolutely nothing. And who goes in that draft? Like we miss out on guys like Jaden Williams or Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May.
Yeah,
probably the best. Yeah, probably the best quarterback class. Like. In a while, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, it does matter, and it does hurt, and it's just pure ignorance to think otherwise, because not saying everything happens for a reason. I love Jackson Dart, and I think he's a beast, and I love him, and I think he's ours, but we pass up on those 3 because we won stupid ball games.
It's true.
And it sucks. And look at the Bears. Say you do suck, right? But you don't necessarily go for that quarterback. Get a draft haul. Trade down.
Yeah.
Get picks. It could change your franchise, and teams like the New York Jets the fan bases don't seem to understand this.
No, well, I think this is the problem, right? Me and you, like the way that we look at football is like, I like to look at it through like a GM's lens, right?
Yeah.
That's what I love the idea of football, of building a team, drafting, scouting, all that kind of stuff. I think it's so interesting. And I think when you're a fan, you look at the game in just wins and losses, right? Especially guys like the Jets, right? Who haven't seen success in their entire lifetimes, like our friends, right? Most Jets fans have never seen them win games, right? You look at teams like the Browns, right? Who they've been terrible for years, right? You look at even teams like the Dolphins, they haven't been good in a long time. And so you get those fan bases and they say, man, I just want to win games.
Yeah.
Like, I just want wins. And I think the big question is, how much do wins play on the culture? Like going 0-16 versus going, or 0-17 now versus going 0-13 or 4-13. Do you think, like personally, because I've heard that so many times, it's about the culture. We want to create a winning culture. Is 4-13... Like, I think that's crazy. People who think 4-13 is a different winning culture versus 0-17. Like, I'd rather get 0-17, get the first overall pick, than be 4-13, have the third overall, and say, we won games for that culture aspect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and I completely agree. It's alarming because we were talking to our Jets fans. We're watching the Giants game, and we get texts, that are saying the Jets and Giants are
the same record.
They're just as good as each other. And it's like, okay, we got to pump the brakes. Justin Fields had 54 yards passing. And one was to a screen to Breece Hall, who basically did all the work, right? Just was doing Breece Hall things, who also wants to get the heck off the team.
Poor guy.
So what do you do? Like, as Jets fans, why are you saying such things? You won 27-20. A dogfight at home to probably one of the worst teams in the league. Like, what are we talking about? You had 2 special teams touchdowns, and you're happy with that win?
Yeah.
That's just, it just hurts. And you know how they are operating now. I love what they did. They said, listen, we're not winning with Sauce Gardner. We're not winning with Quinnen Williams. So let's get some draft picks. And clearly they don't value their draft capital.
Yeah.
Like what your whole future is based on picks. And you're going to be like, "All right, let's go win a meaningless game against one of the worst teams and then just go, "Oh, we're just as good as these teams." You're not competitive, and the most competitive they've been was against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first game. Right? Like that was
true.
You know, the Bengals without Joe, like the Browns, like come on. And I think it's going to kill them. I think it's going to bite them in the butt like it bit us in the butt when we couldn't get Jaden Daniels. I think it's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's tough for the Jets because you hear Jets fans even saying too, "Oh, this draft class isn't that good."
Well, yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, sure. You know, okay, I'll give it to you guys. Maybe they don't have the quarterback in the class. But when you're the New York Jets and you're sitting there and you have basically no pieces right now, right, that you can confidently say, because the Jets are not a couple seasons away, right? The Jets are at least 5-10 years away from competing. Mm-hmm. So if you're a Jets fan, there is almost nobody on your roster right now that is going to be relevant for the Super Bowl winning roster that you're going to build. So you have to say, getting as high of a draft pick as possible is just a step closer to either trading down or picking the guy that you need that's going to be a superstar, right? In whatever position that is.
Well, it's almost like they don't think of the future. These fans, because it's like, look, their offensive line. They're like, all right, we got our offensive line attack. I understand Elijah Vera Tucker's, but they have 2 free agents coming in this offseason. I understand Elijah Vera Tucker's always hurt, but he's a great player. You lost your 2 best defenders, Sauce Gardner and Quinn, right? Like those are your 2 best. Mosley's retired. That Reed is on Detroit. Like no one is on your defense anymore. And then your offense, your running back, Breece Hall, doesn't want to be on the team. Garrett Wilson's losing his mind. His prime is just going down the drain.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Why aren't they thinking of the future?
I mean, the one thing that I will say is I think the Jets won the trade with the Cowboys and the Colts.
I think it was great.
I think they absolutely hit home runs.
100%. But they don't care about. And then it's like they want to win games and not get the best draft capital. They have so much they can do.
So many.
And
things.
they just throw it away with meaningless wins. Like I don't think the fans understand how big trading down is, and maybe people love Mendoza.
Ready? You want to talk about trading down? That's exactly how the Chicago Bears got Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
They had the first overall pick the year before.
Yeah.
And they traded it away and were able to give it to the Carolina Panthers, who then drafted Bryce Young.
Yeah.
And then they traded down, got the Panthers pick next year.
Yeah.
Panthers were the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
And they get the number 1 overall pick, and they draft Caleb Williams. And now let's look at Bryce Young versus Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're the Jets and you do that.
Yeah.
You have a high draft pick. You go and trade with a team that maybe needs that pick. They have that guy they want. Even if it's at 2. You look at the Browns. The Browns have the Jacksonville Jaguars pick because they traded from 2 to 5. The Jets can do the same thing. Trade from 1 or 2 down to just 6 or something.
Yeah.
You know, get a first next year, trade this one this year, and you still have a top 10 pick.
And it's hard because they're hating on this draft, but I mean, your quarterback, you won 27-20 and he had 54 passing yards. Like, I don't care if you trade down and then you get a second. Go get Ty Simpson if he's there.
Yeah, well, I think
why are they like not thinking this way?
I think the thing is, though, this is the NFL. Everyone says every year they find players that come through the draft that we never thought were going to be the superstars that they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if everyone knew Jackson Dart was going to be the guy, he would have got picked at 1.
He would have.
But there's a reason guys went before him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason that, you know, like in our draft, we picked Evan Neal at pick 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's guys that drafted way after him that are way better. Kyle Monangai for the Bears had 195 yards from scrimmage. He was a 7th round draft pick.
Yeah.
So it's like there's these guys that everyone says they're not going to be that good. Oh, we don't need that good of a draft pick. It's like all you got to do is get the right scouts.
Well, listen, I mean, arguably our best player on our team, on our offense, especially with Leak going down, was Scatterbo.
Yeah.
He was a 4th rounder. I mean, there's gems in drafts, and clearly some teams don't value that. And it's
if you think about it, though, the Jets, they've drafted fairly well in terms of picking Quinnen, Brees, and Garrett Wilson, Sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they've drafted fairly well. But the problem is they draft one guy and then they say, that's good enough. Then 5 years go down the line and they're not good enough to win games still.
Well, it's just hard for them because it's also like arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, and he's just on fire, is that boy in Seattle.
Sam Darnold.
Like, does that not enrage Jets fans?
Well, there is a factor of playing in New York and being a system fit, and it's not tough. You know what I mean? The Jets aren't necessarily like that team, but there is a factor of playing in New York and being, under the lights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely benefited someone like Sam Darnold, someone like Daniel Jones, to go to a different team, be in a smaller market, low expectations, as opposed to being a top 10 draft pick coming and playing in the biggest city in the United States.
But it's just
hard
hard because it's like, imagine if they kept him. Like, I understand he didn't, but you'd have Brees Hall, Sam Darnold. You'd have their offensive line. That's a strength of theirs. You'd have Mason Taylor, that young tight end that everyone loves. You'd have Garrett Wilson. That's a strong team. And then say you kept Sauce and Quinnen. Like, what is their problem?
Well, I think the problem with Jets fans is this, right? And it starts from the GM level. It's the same way, which is why I think this trade with the Colts and the Cowboys is a step in the right direction. Yeah. Because I think it all started with signing Aaron Rodgers in a desperate situation to win games right now.
Yeah.
Right? You do not have the team to win games right now. Your defense has a miraculous year. You're one of the best defenses in football. And next year, you just think if we just go get Aaron Rodgers, we're going to be there, right? He obviously tears his ACL. Defense doesn't look the same. It's a different season. He comes back the next year. It's a complete mess, right? And then what do? This is where they went wrong. Going to get Devontae Adams, going to get Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and then firing Robert Saleh, thinking that he was the problem and not all the other decisions, right?
Yeah.
So you make all these chain reaction decisions that have an effect on it, and then now Aaron Rodgers is no longer your quarterback. Now you lose a very good coach, and now you're in a point where it's a complete reset, right? And it's saying, now we need to get everything new. Yeah. And now all these pieces that we had that we thought we were going to build around, we reset the clock. Now we're 5 years behind schedule. And now we just need to sell everybody in order to get draft capital. And it's just constant over.
And listen, Jets fans, I mean, I think this is, as we've been saying, it is the right decision. It's a good step getting all this draft capital, but you want a high draft pick. You want the top 3 pick at least. You need it, and you guys can do some damage. Yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say, really. And it's kind of shocking that they care about these wins, which is just ignorant. But
yeah, I mean, as a fan, you always want to win, but at the same time, you have to think about it and say, in 5 years from now, am I going to want to win a couple games, or do I want to be contending for a Super Bowl and winning in the playoffs? Or am I going to be saying, man, we got 6 wins this year, that was a win? It's no, the standard should be, let's get to the playoffs and compete for a Super Bowl and do whatever it takes to get there. 100%. You know what I mean? Especially for guys our age. You know what I mean? We're 24, 25 years old. I don't, if I get a couple Super Bowls in the rest of my lifetime, you know what I mean?
100%.
I'm not here, I'm here to build it. And when I'm 30, if we're contending for Super Bowls, when I have some money, I'm going to the games.
100%.
You know what I mean? That's the life right 100%. There, But instead, I'm worried about winning 4 games right now. Come on.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll see what happens with the Jets. Hopefully, they don't win games for them. Yeah. But maybe, as Giants fans, we love it. We're getting a higher draft pick. We're not winning any games. So, hopefully, we don't win. You know what I mean? But
hopefully,
let us know down in the comments. It's kind of a controversial topic. If you're a fan, if you're a Jets fan, let us know. Do you guys want to win right now, or are you guys happy with losing? And let us know down in the comments what moves you think the Jets should make. If you guys think they won the trades at the deadline, just let us know down in the comments. Appreciate you guys watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
See you, boys.